Wow, I'm tired. This solar stuff has been crazy. Let me get you up to speed on what has been going on with my solar build that has started. Yes, VoskCoin, not BoskCoin AI, is finally building out our commercial grade solar for our Bitcoin mining farm. What originally began as a 600-ish panel project and was really only looking at, dip my toes in. We're looking at nearly 2,000 panels. We're looking at about 2 megawatts of solar arrays. And I will be generating enough electricity if everything lines up properly to run 40 to 50 miners with 100% offset. But this is hard work. And we get rugged and nuked daily. It's crazy. I'm Vosk. Let's dig into it. I'd like to simply ask you to subscribe and follow me along on this crazy journey, whether you're rooting for me or rooting against me. It's gonna be crazy. I think I already said crazy. Maybe I'm crazy now. Hey.
Oh, hi.
What are you doing July 21st to 23rd? I thought you'd say that. Heading down to Mining Disrupt. They're back in Miami, Florida, baby. It's the biggest Bitcoin crypto mining conference in the world. Use our link to not only buy a ticket, but to get a discount. Alright, so we were going to order some panels, and there were some logistic and price issues, and people were trying to sling me 600-ish watt panels for like $250 a piece. Awful pricing. So I went on Alibaba and I sourced some US stock and I cut that price in half basically instantly. And then I started sourcing stuff from overseas, but don't think it's easy. I spent a lot of time on it, but I've essentially got my pricing down to $60 to $70 a panel for panels that are sized from 590 watts to 720 watt solar panels. I underestimated the freaking size of these. Okay, I've only worked with Rec 430 watt panels, basically kind of like traditional residential panels. People call these panels, I talked about, the 590 to 720 jumbo panels. They're freaking huge. It's very difficult to one-man move these. It's fine enough with 2 people, but it makes everything harder. I mean, it's more weight, it's more stuff to deal with, it's more challenging. Oh yeah. And I remember my first delivery of these. Let's talk about that. They showed up, forced a delivery, or talked about a bunch of fees, this and that, and basically dropped my shit at the street. So I had to hand unload all these pallets. I didn't have any machines, forklifts, anything. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna do it myself. Oh, by the way, there's basically what everybody around here called snowcrete. It was a bunch of ice, snow turned ice. So we moved, it was like I think 160 panels by hand. Shout out to BMA, Dennis and Colby, freaking incredible for coming over and helping me out. Jason also swooped in for a little bit of help there at the end. And then there was Derek. He completely rugged me and gave up and went home. So we crack open these pallets. They're on an angle. They start sliding everywhere. They ran forklifts somewhere along the way through one of the pallets. So I'm dealing with a dispute on Alibaba about, hey, I received some broken stuff. It was one of the most grueling days of my life, and trust me, I've had some rough lives. Well, that's true too. I've had some rough days. And at this point, what I'm talking about was actually already a couple months ago, and my 2 big toes are still, my nails, black. Just got obliterated that day. Then I went straight to Kubota and I bought a f***ing skid steer. Really, it's a track loader. SVL 75.3. Brand new. Big bucket. Got some Chinese implements from a local reseller for what I thought was a pretty good deal. Like $1,200 a piece for, on average for a trencher, a 4-in-1 bucket, a hydraulic forklift, and then also a grader or a planer. So plenty of stuff to work with there. And at that point, I cleared my driveway. They came back a couple of days, delivered a couple more pallets, and bam, 216 panels, 6 or something, I forget it offhand. Basically broke along the way from factory shipping and forklift damage. None were our fault, just to be clear there. And then we got some Hoy miles, micro inverters in. Then I also got a great deal on some Grow Watt 11.4 kilowatt string inverters. The Hoy miles are micro inverters. They basically shove 4 into one pack. I think HMS 2000, the North America version. I'm on residential electricity, right? I have massive single phase electric services here. It makes my solar design and build weird and kind of challenging, sort of like my mining farm build has been. Yep, in retrospect, I really should have brought 3-phase in, but I am so deep into sunk costs with a whole lot of stuff, it's not really funny. At this point, I'm just going to ride it out and keep driving it home. I've got upgrades in for all of my meters, moving 400 and 600 amp services, all to 800 amps, allows me to standardize all my stuff. And I can basically set up 200 kilowatt solar arrays on each service. So I will have about a 1 megawatt solar farm when it's all said and done, hopefully. We're grid tied. We get 1-to-1 banking there, so that's pretty awesome. But we got to move to secure that and get that grandfathered in if that changes. I've learned so much in the last couple months. There's already so many things I would do differently. I wouldn't have all these random parts, and then I realized I thought I was being a genius by ordering these 720 watt panels, only to find out that their input amperage, I mean, these are absolutely designed for 3-phase type services, and I have single phase, and most of these single phase inverters can't handle these. That's not good. That's not good at all. So the Grow Watts can be had pretty cheap, especially if you go over to China land, but they're too small for these big wattage panels. Basically, it comes down to a couple things, but the main hurdle is the input amperage, right? And these 720s are hitting it over 17 amps a piece. That Grow Watt inverter I talked about, 13.5 max input amp. Those Hoy miles, which I don't like that design anyway. It's not, I don't think that's a good solution for what I'm doing on my scale here, but maybe I'm wrong. Todd of NC Solar Electric is a big proponent of those, so I have them. I'm gonna hook some up. We're gonna see what it's all about. But we've been spending a lot of time this week backtracking, looking at all the different inverter options, and I reached out to a couple other solar engineers, solar resellers, solar designers, manufacturers. And I just can't believe when I talk to like US Solar and Signature Solar, Fronius directly, all of these Chinese resellers and manufacturers that have direct connections to Grow Watt, to Solus, to Mega Revo, and a lot of other manufacturers, how little everybody knows. It's crazy. This has become more technical than expected because the scale to a bit, but once I went to these jumbo panels and the single phase, it got a lot more complicated. Look at these two specs. So this is the SSE, and this is the Mega Revo. And right now, I think that these two would be good solutions for me, and something that I could actually just run on every panel if I really wanted to. So I've got sunk costs. I'm probably just gonna use what I have unless I find somebody that, wants the stuff I have. Say like the Grow Watts and the Hoy miles. But the input amperage is a concern. I'm doing 24 panel strings basically. And I'm going to break it up, 24 panels break, 24 panels break. It's kind of difficult with the racking system we're using, which is Integra Rack so far. The longer you go, if the variation in slope and other things like that, it starts to catch up to you. Maybe I'll feel differently once I try this on concrete. We are pouring some concrete next week. and it is a very expensive way to go about this. But one, I'm just curious for the science in the tube. Two, we're going to paint the concrete white. So we're going to try to get as much as we can out of these bifacial panels, which has me even more scared of basically these specs, especially like the input amperage rising. But bifacial panels, especially with white backdrops, white plastic, white rock, concrete, white painted concrete, whatever, it reflects more light, and then the solar panel is getting more light, and it can significantly increase your solar generation. Maybe not always worth the effort, but in my case, I'm limited by my 800 amp services, all 5 of them. But if I can set up these panels, they have a maximum, but if I can get them hitting higher for longer, I will produce more energy. So I'm looking to essentially maximize what my panels can do, which is why I don't want to use inverters that are not ideally sized, because then I'll get more clipping, which will lead to more loss, and there'll just be less potential energy produced here. But anyway, like, that's kind of where I'm at. I've started condensing things, so the first system is going to have the grow watts and the Hoy miles kind of go from there, and I need to source the inverters as soon as possible for the next systems. I'm essentially building 5 systems, but they will start to be more and more alike. 2 systems will hopefully have all of the same panels and all of the same inverter type, and then the next 2 systems, I'm moving down in wattage because I'm learning as we go, and I think I'm better suited to actually use 600 watt panels instead of something like 720 watts, especially kind of where I'm at for similar things. It does cost me more in racking, but I think it's going to be a higher producing system, sort of within the realm of over paneling. I could be wrong though. Ultimately though, not a 720 watt panel guy. There's so many options in the lower wattages, especially again for what I'm doing, and there's very few that I can use. And I'm pushing this stuff hard on a lot of these options. The harder you push this Chinesium, the less and less it'll last. So more panels on the way, need to finalize inverters, get those on the way. Concrete's formed, gonna be poured. We already have racking for concrete. We are still in the absolute trenches installing our first array. We're using coated steel black with ground screws, basically augering all these in. Dennis and Colby BMA and studs, they've been helping us with so much stuff. We've got the Netherlands finest over here, Vincent, who's an awesome member of the VoskCoin team, who actually hit his 5-year anniversary this month, which is really cool. He's here on site helping us work on the solar. But have you met Joel, the editor of this video? Joel, come on, Joel, what are you doing? And what's your latest anime you've been watching? But yeah, that's the sitch. That's where we're at. A lot going on, a lot to do. And over the next week, I'm gonna get a container full delivery of panels. Then I'm gonna have to unload myself, but here with Vincent as well. I hope it goes a lot better than our last delivery, where we had 5 pallets of 630 watt panels put the wrong way in the freaking tractor trailer. He didn't even have a freaking lift jack. So there was no way that I could figure out to turn this thing inside. We tried and it hit, and I can't fork out on the long end. These panels are long and they were stacked like laying down, not vertical. So I have to come in from the side with my 4-foot forks or it doesn't work. So we hand unloaded all of those. But again, BMA came over, incredible help, and the concrete crew actually helped us as well. So huge shout out to those guys. We actually dropped them pretty much where they need to go. So we turned a negative into a positive, but I'm definitely sore today from it. So to speedball, what's next? Pouring concrete, gonna continue racking these panels in the ground. Then we're gonna turn around and start racking these panels on concrete. We're also going to work with the wiring and the arrays, and if nothing else, try to get at least this first half, because we still need the meter upgraded, the whole service. So we couldn't even connect both sides of these and have them hot if we wanted. To be clear, we're doing the gray immersion shed first, just kind of on orientation, and it's the furthest away, so naturally it's going to be the ugliest, and it'll be the least visible. So how about that? Beyond that, we're just going to keep plugging and chugging and keep racking and stacking. I don't know if plugging and chugging made any sense, but racking and stacking, we got to keep that one. I guess we'd be stacking and then racking. Big panel guy. Vosk, you're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. This is our CSO, our Chief Solar Officer at VoskCoin. I appreciate you. I know it's kind of crazy, but this is we're doing some weird stuff. Some people have done things. How much of it have they recorded? I don't know. So we're crash coursing this content and even this whole project the best we can. And eventually I'll understand, and I'll be a little more calm, and I'll have a little more time, and I'll sit down, I'll make some more cohesive content, slow it down, what we did right, what we did wrong, how I would do it again, and what the end results are. But let's get that electricity down and that Bitcoin up. Good luck and goodbye.